Hey Nick,
Going on?
how are you?
I'm all right. How
Good.
about yourself?
Doing great.
Yeah.
Besides the cold and wind and you know, it's
Yeah, we had a
January.
nice snowstorm yesterday up here. So that was fun on delivery day.
Yeah, we had to move our delivery day because it was too cold to do. The one of the delivery days, Tuesday, was just way too cold. It was minus 20 degrees wind chilled and couldn't keep the cooler up to temp.
Right. Yeah,
So
that's the issue.
yeah, but other than that, it's January. Things you got to deal with.
Right. Yep.
All right. So session two, a little bit later than 60 days. Sorry about that. Just holidays running just craziness and stuff. So
It went by fast.
it does. It does.
Hmm.
Where are you at right now?
Well, since we last spoke, I picked up some more business. I hooked up with that chef that we talked
Mm,
about, and he's just been like passing me around
mm.
town. Like he's got no, I mean,
Oh, good thing.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He seems to have like connections with every restaurant in the area,
Nice.
which is cool.
Yeah.
And every time I talk to him, he's like, "Oh, you should go over here and talk to Kevin or whatever." So that's what I've been doing,
That's
which is cool. And I picked one place up on my own, without the kind of like referral.
mm-hmm.
That's a little closer to home. But they're, I mean, it's a pretty small order. They're getting like 2 ounces of cilantro and 2 ounces of pea shoots.
It's a start, right?
Yeah, a
You
week.
know?
Yeah. Yeah, I brought them some they do it's like a Latin fusion place and it's pretty fancy. I went there for my birthday. I brought them some nasturtium leaf yesterday when I was over there. So I'm just gonna keep dropping stuff on them, some
Yeah.
leek and whatever. But they're pretty cool. He offered to put my logo on their menu,
Nice.
and he said that they do like monthly kind of like beer pairings with different foods, and he said he'll want some different, kind of like fancier stuff for that. And then he also said if I ever want to come in and just like he'll like plate stuff up with different varieties on it and let me take pictures and
Nice.
use it for
Social media posts.
advertising. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So that was really cool.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
It sounds like that guy's the first guy there. Your chef's been a great connection though, because that's an easy in. Then saying, "Hey, this chef is sending me over to you."
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, he's
awesome.
been putting me in like group chats with different business owners. He'll be like, "Hey, I just want to introduce you to Nick and da 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 da," and then just kind of like I just talk, start texting the guy or whatever, and it's
That's
kind of
awesome.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
yeah, he's been great, and I just followed him on Instagram. I sent him a message. I saw like the stuff he was using. I didn't have any of that available, so like I started growing beet and whatever the stuff he's using, and then I had coffee with him, and he was like all about it. So it's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's a home run hit right there on
I
that one.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah, and he's a real nice guy too, so that's even better.
it's beautiful.
Yeah, for
We don't even
sure.
have anybody like that. We have one chef that really like loves us, but he'll tell his other people, but it's nothing to that level. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
He does like in-home catering.
Oh, okay.
So like people hire him to like he basically like comes over and cooks in your kitchen,
Oh yeah, I've heard of
you
that.
know. Uh and they're kind of in like a ritzy area. I don't know if you've ever heard of Lake Geneva, Wisconsin.
Yeah. Mm-mm. It
It's like
sounds
a
fancy though.
it's a tourist area where like all the people out of Chicago go
Okay.
to over the summer. There's a lot of money out there, so I'm sure he does very well. I don't know what he charges for an event, but I'm sure it's not cheap.
I'm sure if he's going in and cooking for your house, it's not a cheap thing
Yeah,
at
yeah,
all.
yeah, right. So,
A personal chef, basically. I mean, that's not going to be cheap.
right.
That's great. Yeah, that's definitely one to keep on your side there, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
It's awesome. Um, kind of just looking over your last ones. Have you um done anything with grocery stores? It looks like.
No, I've kind of pivoted
Okay.
towards restaurants. There's only so many grocery stores in the area. All the
Okay.
like big chain ones, they already have microgreens in there, and I don't foresee them like
Changing.
yeah. I mean, I'm still gonna go and be make myself available.
Yeah.
But I'm kind of
You found your niche.
well, I need to, yeah, I mean, I need business and I can't just keep going to the grocery store and saying hi,
Yeah.
and start selling. So,
It doesn't make any money. Yes.
right. So it's still an option. I mean, for the future, maybe you never know, like some of those places might fall off or not, not, I mean, maybe they might just move on to something else
Yeah.
or whatever in the future.
Yeah, just
I'm
keep your presence around. Don't, just in case they like, hey, we want to switch and oh yeah, you got this Nick Geist flyer or something like that, and they pick it
yeah.
up.
Yeah, I'm still gonna do that. I am working, so I sell the one. It's kind of like a co-op, I guess.
Okay.
Out by us, it's like it's called Farmers Market to Go, so it's like all local
The farmers,
vendors,
yeah.
and they do like you kind of pay like a rental for
Okay.
your
Your
cooler
space.
space,
Yeah.
but you get all the money. Like once that's paid for, like they don't keep a percentage of the
Oh,
sale.
that's interesting.
So yeah, the first month was pretty good. They wrote me a check for like $400,
Oh, yeah, that's
and
good.
yeah, and so I am working right now. I'm looking to put together like a couple more mixes, because some of the stores I sell to, like pea shoots, they just don't sell. And they've gotten down to the point where they're only getting like 2 packs from me a week.
Mm,
So I'm just looking to like replace it with something that
yeah.
might be a little more appealing. So that's what I'm playing around with now. I've got like a couple trays of um like I'm just gonna do like sunflowers and kale and cabbage, or you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
little color,
Give it a name.
yeah,
Yeah.
varieties
Yeah.
that do sell, and just put them together. Because I do like it's kind of like a sampler box. It's got pea shoots, sunflower, broccoli, and radish, and that one's like very popular. And then I do a spicy mix, which is radishes and mustard,
Hmm.
and that one's popular too. And the broccoli always sells well. Sunflowers do okay. So I figured,
Yeah. Put them
check,
together.
axe the pea shoots. I can still put them in like
Put them in a
the fresh,
mix. Yeah.
yeah, the fresh mix. There's pea shoots in it, and people buy it every week.
Yeah.
So maybe a whole pack of pea shoots is just like, you know,
Most of our peas that we sell, besides the ones that go into food banks now. But the peas that we sell normally at the grocery store, almost all of it's within the mixes. It's
Right.
not. It's not individuals. We'll sell a few at each store a week, but it's not much of anything.
Yeah. Yeah, and I see that at the farmers market too, because I'll bring like a dozen of them, and some weeks I'll sell out, and then some weeks I might only sell like two of them. So I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
they're definitely on the bottom of the totem, you know?
Yeah. Out of the like 12 we sell at stores, it's probably number 12.
Yeah, right. Yeah, so I like to get rid of them, and then, well, not get rid of them, but I think the way I look at it is with mixes. You kind of want to have like a base layer of a high yielding crop that you can do
Mm-hmm.
like half a pack of,
Yep.
and then put other stuff in there, to make it a little more appealing.
Yeah. Like we do like with our salad booster. I'll talk about that one. Is we do 1 ounce of sunflowers in it,
Yeah.
and then the other 1 ounce is broccoli, kale, and cabbage
Yeah,
together.
right. Right.
You
And those
know.
are
So
lower yielding crops.
yep.
I mean, the seed's a little more expensive. So I think that's kind of how you know, even out the
Yes.
pricing for the
Exactly.
wholesale cost.
Yep.
But
And it's more appealing to people because they're getting 4 things instead of one.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's easier too because, like, say if you're using it, you said that was a salad booster.
Yeah.
So you're using it for a salad. You just reach in, grab a handful, toss it in your salad.
Yeah.
You don't have to have like three different containers.
Exactly.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that kind of deal.
Yep. And they don't have to buy 3 containers. They can buy one, and hopefully they buy
Right.
2 or 3 of them ones every week, you know? But yeah, every trip to the grocery store, they pick up one
Yeah.
versus they picked up 4 and they only used half of that. Now they're like, oh, I don't really need the microgreens. I didn't really use them all.
Yeah. I have one lady that comes to the house and she buys 8 containers from me every other week.
Nice.
Yeah. So
And she comes to the house and pick them up?
yeah, she just picks them
Oh,
up
nice.
here. And I've got another lady too. A lot of people wanted me to do home delivery. Um, I just don't want to do it.
Me either. We just ended this I think we got one more next week, but we've ended all our home deliveries and it's all going to an aggregator who he's doing with 9 different farms. I think 10 now. He just got his 10th one, and he just rounds it all up and he goes out and delivers it.
Oh, cool.
Much more simpler for me.
Like a distributor, a CSA
Kind
kind of
of,
deal.
kind
Yeah.
of. He says he calls himself an aggregator.
Yeah.
So we're selling to the people, but he's just taking a percentage for the delivery, whatever. I don't care. I
That's
don't have
way
to go
better.
deliver to everybody. Yeah,
One stop.
yeah,
Yeah, I know that because that's what I collected probably like 35 people's information, like just in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks of the farmers markets.
yeah.
But I put the website together and I'm like looking at it and I'm like, dude, I just don't, because then like I just feel like most of the people are already on my route anyhow,
Yeah.
or close to, main roads that I'd be taking. But then you got to deal with like, oh, I don't want my stuff this week, or they forget to put out a cooler, or I just don't want to mess with it.
Yep, and we've left it before because we've told him they had to have a cooler, and he calls back and he's like, "Hey, all the stuff burnt up in the summer," and I'm like, "Told you had to have a cooler out, man. I
Yeah,
mean, that's or somebody needs to be there to get it. I'm not going to make another stop to come back if you're not there. It's not going to happen.
right.
So, just all that stuff you don't have to deal with and stuff and everything else. This makes life easier.
Yeah, I'm much more happy to just
You
stick it in
want it?
someone's
Come get it.
walk-in and yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they actually contacted me. So
Nice.
yeah, the one lady said the store that I sell to close to her is too far. I'm closer. Whatever. She
Okay,
just wants to fix it up like usually on a Thursday night after dinner.
you're
So
there anyway. You ain't got to go anywhere. Yeah, that's
right.
awesome.
Yeah.
So I think that's a good plan. Stick with your restaurants. You got a great contact there. Dabble in the grocery stores and just make sure yourself is known in case you
Hmm.
ever want to switch. Um, And home delivery, switch them to pickups. That's even better. You know, as long as you're okay with people coming to your house, you know, that's cool. We have one person that picks up at our farm still. You know, they just come pick up. So you know,
Right.
so yeah, I think that's great. Um, did you expand your offerings then since you're going restaurants? Did you said you started growing beets, nasturtiums?
Yeah, I put together like a mix. I do a brassica blend that's like a red kale, purple kohlrabi, red cabbage. Um, I offer a custom mix, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and then it's mostly just everything I've been playing around with for the last year or two. I kind of put it on. I just made a menu like this, and then I
No, that's
just,
beautiful.
you
Yeah.
know, a lot of the stuff I have, well, the one place was buying, they just started with like a 2 ounce pack of leek. And the very next week, he called or texted me and he's like, hey, we're actually going to need 8 ounces a week because that whatever item they're putting it on, like they just went through it in a couple days, you know?
Nice.
So that was cool. And they're right now, they're kind of like a breakfast brunch spot. Everything there is made from scratch. It's like
Nice.
they have a bakery and everything. But he said they're going to be opening up like a dinner
Hmm.
um portion of
Nice.
the day as well. So they're going to want like some, and they're going to have like a totally different menu.
Obviously, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's cool. But yeah, all this stuff is like, I mean, the flowers are rolling in. I have dianthus, and dude, those things, have you ever grown them?
Mm-hmm.
They're crazy. They're like big. The
Yeah.
plant, yeah, and they're like string, like viney
Yep.
almost. So I don't know that I'll be doing those again.
Yeah. I
But
did them once.
yeah, they're very pretty. One
Very
of them that I
pretty.
has that it's growing flowers like a cluster on the top. It's like a bunch of
Hmm.
these little. Here, you want to see them?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, take you in the grow room.
Into the grow room. Yeah, we stopped growing them because they got so tall and just crazy. Like, just didn't work for us.
Yeah, let me see. How do you flip the camera around? Oh,
Should
there.
be. Yeah. There you go.
You see that?
Yeah. Oh, it's like a little ball. Yeah, it's coming out of
Yeah. And this one's got like a bunch
four
of
of them, five of them.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is like the other one that I.
Yeah. They start vining down and yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just crazy. It's crazy, and this shelf needs to be lower.
Yeah. You need a little bit more room probably in between the lights and the shelf.
Yeah, the
Put up
pansies
and
I
around.
actually still have like stacked. So I just flipped a
Oh,
tray upside
so
down to
down.
get them
Oh, there.
closer.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna drop them soon. Like these ones are still pretty short,
Yeah. 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 I would. Yeah. I'd
but that
drop
one
them
in the
though.
back is
They'll
like.
stretch probably more for you.
Hmm.
Start following more. Yeah.
Yeah, I just harvested these like 2 days ago.
Nice.
Or-
That's the good thing about flowers. They keep growing for a while.
yeah, which is cool.
The bad
So
part is if you keep them too long, that's when the bugs come.
yeah, I saw one gnat in there the other day, and I was like, oh. But I already have more going. So
Yeah.
I planted them a couple weeks ago. They're out of the
Nice.
domes.
Yeah. As soon as they start flowering, you get rid of the other one.
Yeah, which is and I'm doing pentas this round.
Okay.
So we'll see how those go. I've seen other people doing them and they look really pretty.
Yeah.
I also had a chef ask me to grow cilantro out until it flowers. He said it's like a traditional
Mexican.
Mexican
Yeah.
deal. It's
That's a
that
long grow.
it's only 60 days.
It's it's
Well,
it's still a long grow.
yeah, I know. 60 to 90 days, but it's the same as the flowers.
Yeah. True.
You know?
True.
So it's that same chef that was kind of like hooking me up with all the other places. So
Oh.
I told him I was like, well, I'll try,
Yeah.
you know. And I started a couple plants in like little 5 inch pots in there. So we'll see how it goes. He asked me for purslane too.
Yeah. That's another 90-day probably grow. Yeah.
Yeah, he said they use that as like garnish for tacos or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I looked at it.
As long as you price it accordingly.
Right. I looked at it. It looks like I could actually just put that in the window and it'll grow just fine. So I may try doing that. I don't know what I'm gonna do with the cilantro yet. If I'm gonna take it outside and when it gets nice enough
Yeah.
and just let it go crazy out there because I'm not really sure like how big it actually gets, you know.
Yeah.
Well, to grow it indoor, it might but just like take over that
That area. Yeah.
back, you know. I'm not interested in that, but you know, I think I can pretty much charge them what I want for it, you know, within reason and
It doesn't seem like price is his concern. It's about getting the product, right? So
right. Yeah. Yeah, even all those businesses over there were getting their stuff from like the same distributor and they're like they said my price is a little bit more, but it's the quality's a lot better.
yeah, and
So
you're getting it fresher. You're not
yeah.
getting it shipped into you.
Yeah, I mean they get it they get it the next day after I
Yeah.
harvest it. So it's
Yeah.
value in that for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, because that stuff that comes from California is FedExed. So
Yeah, I don't know exactly where they're getting their they said they get it from a distributor in Milwaukee,
yeah.
but where it's actually grown, who knows?
Most likely California.
Yeah.
It's either California or Texas. Is the
Yeah,
two big companies that distribute out microgreens. And no, both of them will FedEx the microgreens to the distributor.
that's wild.
Yeah, because I know one distributor. She's smaller, but I know one distributor that gets it from them. She's just a little farther out of our reach, but we talk to her at the conferences all the time.
Mhm.
And she showed us a picture of it. It's a FedEx box. It's got ice packs around it and stuff, and that's what they ship a whole bunch of boxes to her for the microgreens, and that's how she gets them to distribute them out.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, I had that farm from California contact me a couple months ago. Looking I guess get accounts and have me fulfill the order.
yeah, yeah. If you can steal their business, that is the way to go, man. That's awesome. Like,
Yeah.
and you can beat them on quality and freshness and all that stuff. So,
Yeah.
all right. You still growing in the same area,
Yeah.
same 4 racks, or did you expand?
Um yeah, well there's five well one of them in there's like a flower rack, but yeah, the other four are for micros. I got right now I'm using like probably two and a third of one. Uh so I'm hoping to
Still
fill
pretty good.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping to fill the third one up because the my main holdup is like all these restaurants that are over there in that tourist area. They're going to be like doubling their order over the summer,
Yeah.
and I don't want to get stuck in this position where yes, I can fulfill the orders now, but when as soon as like May and June, July, they're going to my assumption is they're going to want more, and I don't want to fall short on space, you know.
Yeah. Do you
So,
have room to get more space, or are you going to be tapped out at that
well,
for a while?
I could take my germ rack out of there and I could put it down in the basement and I could run a full other rack in that room. I'm playing around with different configurations on paper
Okay.
to see how many racks I actually could squeeze in there and still be able to move around.
Yeah.
The
That's.
problem is the moving the air around without
Hmm.
blowing directly on the trays.
Yeah.
I put a big exhaust fan in there
That
over the
helps.
summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucked a lot of the water out of the room, and it got like a nice, like natural draft flowing
Hmm.
through the room. And this winter, I found some spots for a couple like clip fans that just blow down the aisles
Yeah.
up at the top.
Yeah.
which is actually helping out a lot.
Mm,
I'm gonna play around this week with like upping my seed density on some of the brassicas. I've in the past had problems getting the middle of the tray to dry out
yeah.
before the edges like are completely flopped.
Yeah. Where are you at on seed density on brassicas?
19 grams.
Oh yeah, I think we are now at 25 on all our brassicas, 25 to 28. And we took broccoli. Now we're growing in the better soil now too, but we took broccoli from averaging 10 ounces up to like 16
Okay.
by that seed density. But you have to be careful not to overseed that middle because you will get that moisture in the middle if you do overseed it.
Yeah, I've so when I seed it, I basically go down one side and then down the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And then usually there's just a little bit of seed left in the shaker, and I just pepper that along the center
Center, yeah.
strip.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to work out well. My only thing is like, summer's gonna come and I might have to dial it back down because
Yeah, because you are growing in a small space, all of that humidity is going to be. But if you got that exhaust fan, that helps out tremendously as well.
I'm
Um,
running a Rinkmo in that room.
a what?
The Rinkmo dehumidifier, a commercial
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah,
dehumidifier
yeah. Okay, yeah,
for
yeah.
like 8,000 square feet.
Mm-hmm.
But I modified it a little bit and I built like a box out of sheet metal and I slapped it over the fan and then I ducked it out the window with the exhaust fan.
Yeah,
So the hot air, most
goes
of it
out.
blows under there. Well, we'll see how it works over the summer. I did
Yeah,
that a couple months ago. So, and it works fine now. There's like barely a draft that comes out of it,
awesome.
which is good. But it's mostly finding a spot for it where it's not blowing on the trays. That was my problem. So that solved that. I can
Yeah,
stick it wherever I want now.
nice. Good problem solving, man.
Yeah, it was I was gonna have a guy 3D print it for me, but I was worried that the plastic would break.
Yeah, depending on how strong they make them.
Yeah. So I just made my own and then I put some caulk in there for the cracks and stuff and it's works fine for now. We'll see how it works in July.
Awesome. Yeah, July. July is always the test, right?
Yeah, July, August. I mean
And
it's
then it becomes December, January, for the opposite.
yeah, right now it's super dry in there. I'm sitting at like 32% humidity, which get out of here.
Yeah, during the summer in the warehouse here, the we run two dehumidifiers. Now we got only one dehumidifier going out of that whole space, and it's still right at 35 to 40 in humidity. So that's the difference. Like we have to kick on the second one during the summer. So
Yeah, I thought about buying a humidifier, but I'm not going to. I don't think. I've been getting like some kind of like burnt tips
mm,
on some of the brassicas really,
okay,
but I've been leaving them in germ for like an extra day, so they're like kind of a little more leggy when they come out, and it's seems to solve most of the problem. But I
okay,
think it's because it's so dry in there.
yeah, probably. Do you top water when you bring them first out?
Yeah, and I've been
Okay,
going a lot heavier too.
yeah,
I used to just use the mist,
mm-hmm.
but I've been putting the head on shower
Shower, yeah,
so I can really like soak the tray pretty good when it comes out. And I mean, it's good for like an entire day before I have to bottom water. With the mist
awesome.
setting, it used to only go like 12 to 18 hours and I'd have to hit it underneath.
Yeah,
But
we've switched to doing the sprayer head too. Just when we bring them all out, we just hit the whole racks, just spray them
yeah,
down.
it's a
Uh,
lot faster too.
yeah, it's a lot faster,
Yeah.
and yeah, and you get the proper amount of watering. I think on them. It's in the warehouse, so the floor gets pretty wet, but that's not a big deal for us in there. But that's the only thing you'd have to worry about. You know, I don't know what your flooring setup is in there.
Like that vinyl plank.
Oh, okay. You can get wet. You're okay.
Yeah, a little bit. There's
Yeah. Well, yeah,
some
you
of
don't want to
it's
drown it or anything, but.
yeah. Right.
uh, so are you planning on gearing up and doing a kitty cat? What kind of cat is that? Is that a Bengal?
I don't know. I got him from the Humane Society.
Okay, and a little bit of Bengal looking at him.
Yeah, they said he was a tabby, but he's got some really cool stripes and stuff.
We have two Bengal rescues that we have, so it's pretty close stripes there.
Yeah, they're cool. He's got all like the leopard print on his belly too,
Yeah,
all spots.
yeah, he definitely got some Bengal in him.
Yeah, he's adventurous,
Yeah,
like that kind of
yeah, we
personality.
we have one that's a venture because he's smaller. Then we got a big chunky one that kind of just lazy fat cat. But
Yeah.
um, so you're gonna be focusing mainly on restaurants, right?
hmm
Dabbling in grocery stores. Are you doing farmers markets this year?
Yeah, I'm gonna do one for sure. I may do another one. It depends how much business I end up picking up over the winter if I'm gonna have time. It's just me, so I
Yeah, yeah.
I don't have a partner in the business at the moment, so time's a commodity for sure, you know.
Understand that.
But I mean, one of the markets is on a Saturday, and I did I think I averaged like almost $500 a week there last summer, so it's kind of hard to turn that down.
Yeah.
The other market I did like 150 a week. It's on a Thursday night, but they like shortened up their season and then
Hmm.
upped the price, the booth fee.
That don't
So
make any sense.
yeah, I've been there. This would be if I went there this year, it'd be my third year there, and it went from 450 to now 550 for the season.
And how many less dates?
A whole month.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they made like so I think it's like one night every month or every week of either July or August where they're gonna run it an extra hour,
Okay.
I think. And then they cut out the entire month of October, which to me is kind of fine because
It's slower.
yeah, and that market it runs from I think it's 3 to 7, and in October they cut it from it went down to like 3 to 6, so you're only there for 3 hours, and it's cold, and there's hardly anybody there,
Yep.
and it gets dark at like 5:30. So
Yeah, we've been there. We did a night market for 1 year, and it wasn't very busy. And then, like you said, but you're breaking down in the dark. Like it's just terrible.
yeah, so I don't know what I'll do with that. I might work like Sunday. There's a bunch of Sunday markets. There's like 3 or 4, maybe even 5 that are more in like the Milwaukee area, which is like a bigger
Yeah,
city.
yeah, yeah.
And I may take that day and kind of do like I was thinking about doing like a circuit where it's like twice a month I'm here, twice a month I'm there, whatever, wherever I can get in.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I kind of like having a day on the weekend and be at home. We have a lot of stuff going on. We have little kids, and
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard when you have little kids. You have little ones, that's tough.
yeah,
All mine are grown, so we
right,
just go to everything we can go to.
yeah,
But we are trimming back. To be honest, we more and more we're trimming back and just focusing on what's really working. Um, we're down to two markets last year, and I think we might do both. We might just do one this year. I'm not sure yet.
yeah.
Um, the grocery stores are popping off. The food bank deliveries are popping off. So it's just like at some point you just got to focus on what's making the most effort with taking the less time away from your life as well.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, and
you got to have
farmers
that
markets are a
balance.
lot of work.
Oh yeah,
I
it's
mean,
not 4 hours. Tell you
yeah,
that.
no, it's not. I mean, I spend a lot of time during the week just preparing for it, and then
Hmm.
that's an 8 hour day.
Yeah,
You get pack everything up, get out there, set up, take everything down, get home. It's a whole thing.
yeah, it is. Everybody's like, it's only 4 hours. Yeah, no, 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 it's not.
Yeah, and
You
then
said
like
it's a
all
full 8 hour.
right, and all the time that takes away, like it takes away from like my time when I can wash trays and do stuff like that too. So now I have to find another day I can do that and work it on. I don't know. I don't. I don't know. I'm gonna just do that
It
one.
sounds like speaking as your coach here, it sounds like you need to take that day to be able to do other things and be with your kids.
Right. Yeah, so that's probably what'll end up happening, but we'll see.
I like your though focusing, maybe trying to go to the larger areas and then do different circuits, different markets. Yeah, I'll be here the first of the month. I'll be here. The second of the month, I'll be over here. The third of the
Mhm.
month, I'll be here. If that's something you can do, and see, because then you're going to hit different people, and then
Right.
maybe different chefs or grocery stores or whatever else is going to come from them being in different markets. So if that's something you're able to do, I do kind of like that plan.
Yeah, there's another grower that is bigger in Milwaukee, and I know that they work a couple of those markets, but the markets are large, like
Yeah,
very large. They have like probably over 100 vendors at a lot of
nice.
them, so the chances of them doubling up on somebody at those markets is going to be better than,
Yeah.
some of the smaller ones. And the small markets are like not worth it at all.
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
Been there, done that, done the little small towns and all that. And it's just you want to support them smaller towns, but it's just again you're spending 8 hours a day doing a farmer's
Mhm.
market. You got to make it worth your while.
Yeah, and they can go to Piggly Wiggly and buy my stuff
There you
or
go.
wherever. Like,
Yeah.
so I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what
See how you
happens.
feel when April comes around, right?
Yeah, sometimes I get a little more ambitious than I should be with certain things, but I don't
Yeah.
know. The restaurants, though, are,
Yeah, I feel like that's where you want to be. I just from seeing your reaction with the way you talk about them, I think that's where you want to be is restaurants.
yeah, I actually have there's like this French place that opened up across town, and I went there a few weeks ago and I dropped off some samples. I met with the sous chef, but the head chef I guess that was his day off. And I've been back there twice now. He was out sick last week, and then this week he wasn't there. I'm assuming he's still sick. But like I don't want to show up to the point where now I'm starting to piss people off. And they're like, this guy, and I try to show up at like, 2:45, three
Yeah.
o'clock when they're
Yeah.
like slow.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I don't want to be in the way. So, I don't want to, well, I guess I don't want to feel like a hindrance to the business, where so I don't know. I couldn't find any like contact information for the guy. The restaurant hasn't even, they just opened um either the end of, I think the middle of 2024 is like their first Instagram post.
Okay.
They haven't even highlighted them on their Instagram. So I can't reach out to them and be like, "Hey, what's going on?"
Yeah.
or "How you doing?" or whatever, you know what I mean? Just start a conversation. So I don't know, like I don't think I'm gonna go back. I probably won't go back there for a couple of weeks now. Or,
Yeah.
or
I'd
would
at
you
least give
show up
it probably a
next
couple
week? Or
weeks. Yeah.
yeah,
You showed up last week.
2 weeks well, 3 weeks in a row now.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
first
I'd
week
definitely
was
would give it 2 or 3
samples.
weeks. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then just and if that doesn't, then I would just start, putting in a planner to do it every month. Just go back every month,
Yeah.
and that's way you're not annoying him, and you're just letting him know you're still around. Kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know where, that's the one thing when I met with the sous chef, I forgot to ask her where they're getting their stuff now. Which as soon as I walked out of there, I was like, oh shit,
Duh.
because that would have been great to know. Like if they're getting their stuff locally, then I could probably take it a little more easy.
Yeah,
But if they're getting it through a distributor, like then they're probably more interested.
should be.
It's hard to gauge the level of interest when you don't know all the answers to the questions, you know.
Yes. Yes. The
So
more answers to the questions you can get, the better off you're at selling.
yeah. Yeah, I dropped some stuff off to a place last week that they get their stuff locally, and so now they know about me, but I'm not gonna be like hounding them to sell them stuff.
Yeah, that's ones you go into every few months, making sure
Yeah.
they're still getting their microgreens from local or not, because businesses fail, businesses
Right.
go out all the time. So keep showing up occasionally to them ones, for sure. That's how we got so most of our restaurants is because one person failed to deliver one time.
Yeah.
They didn't even communicate they weren't delivering that week, and they're like, "We're going to try you out. We deliver every week for the last 3 years, so we keep the business." Um, so you just got to be the right timing sometimes on restaurants.
Yeah, that's actually what the guy from that Latin restaurant told me was whoever they were getting stuff from before out of Milwaukee, they originally had like a standing order and then somehow it turned into a this is what we have this week
Mm,
kind of deal. And I told him I was like, well, whatever you order from me is like going to be grown specifically for you. So
yep.
you're not going to have to worry about that. Like, unless something catastrophic happens, you're going to have your order on time every week. But it's really small. I can't imagine how you can keep up with like 2 ounces or 4 ounces of product a week. It's
Should be pretty easy.
that's wild to me. But whatever.
Unfortunately, sometimes microgreen people are also mushroom people,
Hmm.
and mushroom people are very independent, not dependable for whatever reason. So we might be picking up another grocery store that's a little bit out further than I want to go because they just their microgreen grower has been posting a lot of marijuana and pop photos that they grow also,
Okay.
and apparently it's turning their customers off to their product.
Really?
They're making it
Is it?
very very public about it, and like their customers are not like it's a big ordeal apparently over there. I caught very clips of it. I didn't, the big guy I was talking to the produce guy, and then the big guy came over and grabbed him this morning. So I was like, okay, I'll talk to you later about it. But yeah, so whatever. But you never know the reason why they stop using somebody.
Isn't it legal in Illinois?
This is actually in Indiana. It's just over
Oh,
the border in Indiana. So that's why I
okay.
said it's a little bit out of our area where you
Yeah.
technically want to go. But if it makes sense money wise, we'll maybe expand to it. But yeah.
All right.
And I'm not sure if it's legal in Indiana or not. I was going to look that up. I haven't done that yet, but Illinois, yeah, they want to
Well, you
keep you.
think,
They want to keep you high here.
I mean, if it were me, I would, yeah, they kind of have to, don't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much.
I mean, if it were me and I was doing multiple things, I probably would have like different,
Social media channels.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
Unless you're like a farm, if you're growing like carrots and lettuce and
Well, yeah,
you
that's
can group all that together.
that's all a together thing. Yeah.
Yeah, but and when you start growing pot, you're probably like, well, maybe I don't want to intermingle this with my
And
food.
I know it is not. No, it's not legal. Only reason why I know it's not legal is because I listen to Pat McAfee
Mhm.
sports show, and he always
Oh
talks
yeah,
about
yeah.
it's not legal there. And they keep on trying to get it passed, but yeah. So I know it is not legal in Indiana.
That's right. I forgot. I listen to him too,
Yeah.
and I forgot that.
He always talks about his edibles. He only does when he's not in Indiana.
Yeah, yeah. When he's out of state. Yeah,
Yeah, sure. Uh,
right.
but yeah, so yeah, no, it's not legal there. So yeah, that's probably the reason why it's a big uproar.
Well,
But whatever, hey, it's a pretty big chain too. It's a pretty big grocery store. So and then there's other grocery stores that we work with that are in that area well that we work with here. So we might just take the opportunity to do them all.
you guys are in like a bunch of fresh times, aren't you?
Yeah, yeah,
Did you have to apply on their website
yeah, and it's worse now than
to
what it used to
arrange
be.
me?
Yeah, you can go directly with them, but I think they use arrange me kind of system now.
Yeah.
And the bad part is all new vendors now, all new local vendors, it's a consignment, basically.
Well, okay. I looked on their last time I looked was like 6 months ago,
Oh
so
yeah, they just changed
they
it.
must have changed that. Yeah, I'm
Yeah, it was
definitely not
just
interested in
two
that.
months,
They
month or
had like
two
an
ago.
option for it,
Yeah,
I think.
and the only thing that's good about that is you just walk in, you put your products on the shelf, you don't have to check in or do anything like that, and then you leave because it's just whatever shows up at the register is what they give you for. So
Yeah,
we are not like that. We deliver, they check it in, we get paid for everything we deliver. So
yeah, that's
they asked if we wanted to change it, and I'm like, no,
no, definitely not.
definitely not. So unfortunately, all new local vendors, that's what they're doing too. So
Interesting.
yeah,
Yeah, the last time I looked, they had two different payment
Hmm.
options where, which obviously you're aware of, but I didn't know that they made it like strictly, yeah.
Yeah, they just did that. That's the way they're doing all new local vendors.
Wow.
I don't know why. It seems dumb. And I get it. Like if you're a candle maker,
Yeah, yeah.
that makes
That'd be
sense
fun.
because yeah, it's not going to go bad. It's
Right.
going to sit there forever.
Yeah.
I get that, but if you're dealing with produce, that's totally different.
Yeah. Yeah, totally different world.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you're making like soda or
yeah.
honey
Chips,
or yeah,
yeah,
any of that
honey,
stuff,
yeah,
barbecue sauce, whatever. Yeah. Okay. I
yeah.
went to an event for them last winter and I got to like pitch my product in front of the
Nice.
whatever, like their regional guys.
Mm-hmm.
But the dude was asking me to supply like 6 or 7 different locations in the area. And I'm like, well, how many containers is that? Like he's asking me if I could handle it. And like I could physically, but do I have enough space for it? I
Face
don't
for
know.
you.
'Cause I don't know. Like if you're selling 50 of them a week out of each store or whatever it is, like, or more or less, or I don't know. But if they're doing that kind of volume, it's like, especially with a store, like I just don't, I needed more information.
Yeah, just to let you, we sell roughly about 85 units per store on average
Yeah,
a
that's a
week.
lot.
So
Yeah,
on the
that's a
fresh
good.
times.
I think the grocery stores I'm in are a lot smaller and they're not really that demographic of people,
Yeah,
shopping there. And I do 20, 25 a week. So 85 is great.
yeah.
You
Fresh
know,
times has been good.
yeah,
They've
that's
been good.
awesome.
Them and harvest markets that are kind of more local here, bigger chain here. Um, and we do about the same, maybe a little bit more at them stores. So them ones have been good too. And then high V's have been good as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're
Yeah,
easy.
we just have a lot of Kroger pick
Yeah,
and serves and
talk about trying to get through corporate. Whew. Kroger,
yeah, they just picked up some they're selling them in there now from I forget the name of the
Fresh Origin,
no, it's not Fresh Origin. It's a
Arrow Farms.
yeah, Arrow Farms.
Yeah,
They have like the fully automated. I looked them up online. They're like, we use AI to grow our
yeah, yeah, and they
microgreens.
don't make any money. They're not profitable.
Well, I can't imagine they are because they're pretty cheap and to be shipping it, I forget where they're out of, Indiana or Ohio
Oh,
or
they got like 10 different locations throughout the country, and they go bankrupt every 3 or 4 years and
well, that's
restructure.
that's like Elon Musk's like relative had a bunch of different farms in Wisconsin here called
Oh,
like Square Roots or something like
oh yeah,
that.
I did hear about them. Yeah,
And they closed up shop
yeah.
last year or the year before.
The way they're doing it, them big things like that, using all that AI automation stuff, it's just not profitable. There's not enough money in it. It's just not. And they're doing lettuce, and lettuce is way not like they sell lettuce at like half loss. Like they lose 50% of everything they grow. So like it's crazy.
Yeah, they must get some big grants and they take that money and
They take
do
that money, they use it up to the point they can't use it anymore, and then they go bankrupt, and then they restructure and get more grants.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's crazy.
that's awesome that we're paying for that, right?
Yeah, right. How did you what do you do about your like delivery route? How did you factor in like the most effective way to go from place to place? Like did you sit down and look at the map and say, okay, it's, 15 miles to this spot, 12 over there.
Yes. So when we first started, like I would take Google Maps and I just like look at all like because we were going after grocery stores at that point, and we had some home deliveries, and we only did home deliveries in this certain area. And I took the Google Maps out, put the grocery stores on there, and mapped out the distance between them all and everything else. And then I would just now I did delivery services. I ran my own delivery company as well in the past. So,
Mhm.
and this is old school. Like this is 15, 20, almost 20 years ago now. So there was no technology to go in and have something route it. So I was just used to going in and route eating myself. I'm finding the most efficient way to go. Um, and then what we did, and a lot of it comes down to also depending on if you're doing restaurants within there, and what time you got to hit the restaurants, what time you got to hit
Yeah.
the grocery stores, stuff like that. So you always got to factor that in there as well. So I would always put like when I want to hit the restaurants at like say 2 o'clock, 2:30, and then I would back it from there, and like I just put that as the in spot, and then I'd fill other things in and how long I think it would take me at each stop, and try to get as close as I can to 2:30 of hitting that first restaurant.
You don't have to sit around.
So you don't have to sit around. Yeah.
Yeah, because I have one restaurant that they don't open till 11.
Yeah.
And according to the owner, nobody's there before 11. Well, they open at like someone gets there at like 10:45.
How do you open a restaurant at 11
I
with
don't
nobody
know.
there?
That's because I've worked in them before, and I'm like, well,
Yeah.
there's always like some sort of prep. Like you got to get the grills going. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like you
You got
have
to
to do
fire
all
up the
that when you
equipment.
come in. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're like you got to stock your low boy and the whatever. Like you're pulling all the stuff out of the cooler. They
Yeah.
don't apparently they don't do that. I asked her. I was like, well, I know you open at 11, but when is somebody here? She's like 11 o'clock or 10, like 10:30 to 10:45, and I'm like, man, that's
That's crazy.
yeah. And then I have another place. They're like inside a hotel,
Hmm.
and you can't get inside until 4 p.m.
Wow.
Like the front desk won't even buzz me in. I tried. They won't. They won't even buzz me in to go.
So how do they get their other deliveries? Is what I'm wondering.
I don't
Like,
know. I'm gonna ask him next time I go
yeah.
because he said that they have. Come on, buddy. Maybe I don't know. They have employees there, but nobody's in the bar where the phone is. They're back in
Yeah.
the kitchen.
Yeah.
So I was like, well,
Is there a
can I
back door?
can I no, there's no back door.
Oh wow.
It's like in a downtown area and it's just
Okay.
shops all the way around the block. I walked the whole entire block the first time I went looking for an alley. There's no alley anywhere. And he's like, I can't even give you the key code for the front because the hotel, for security purposes, they change the password every week.
I get
I'm
that.
like, man. So I got his number and I was like, well, what time are you here on Wednesday? Like I'm usually here by like, 2 p.m. or whatever. So I got his number, but last time I showed up at like 3:45 and called him, sent him a text. Must not have his phone in his pocket. So I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'll be here at 4 when they
That's
unlock the front door.
that's crazy.
Yeah. So I've been trying to put them, well, obviously they're going to be at the end
Yeah.
of the route. I typically I'd be done by like 1 o'clock.
But now you gotta back everything up because
Yeah, so it's either go home, and they're close to my house, so I could go home, handle whatever, and then go out again. I'd really prefer not to.
yeah, that's a tough one because yeah, you definitely want to get done with your route, and you're done at 1 o'clock and like have to wait 3 hours to go make one delivery. Is it
Yeah,
is it a good order or?
no, it's a little Latin place,
Oh,
but
okay.
I mean, it's small, so I could. What I don't know, but I just started delivering to them, so I guess as we move forward, well, I'll figure something out or whatever, or maybe I don't know, whatever. I'll figure it out. It's a tiny
Mm.
order, but they're I mean they only get what do they get? They get uh it's like $17 worth of stuff,
Um,
you know.
and that
So
makes it more annoying. If it was like
yeah,
150, it's like okay,
yeah, yeah. It's like they're getting like 2 ounces of peas and 2 ounces of cilantro. I think it's like 18
Wow.
bucks.
Yeah, that would annoy me. I'd be honest, that would annoy me.
Yeah,
And I just can't believe that. Again, that somebody's got to be there before 4, right, to start prepping. But
yeah. They have people there. He said there's people there. I think they get in at like 1 or 2.
which would be
But
perfect. Yeah, but you can't.
yeah, but I don't know. Maybe like I'm sure somebody like he's the executive chef, the guy that I've been working with, and he also owns the business.
Okay.
So him and a partner,
Yeah.
whatever. But maybe there's somebody else in the commit. I'm gonna probably end up with like two or three people's phone numbers out of that kitchen because somebody's got to answer the phone so I can get in.
Yeah,
You know,
for real.
because I'm not gonna sit outside I waited outside yesterday for 10 minutes for them to unlock the front door, and
Uh,
dude, my fingers were like
yeah,
they
this time
hurt.
of year, yeah.
And the summer's gonna be bad too. Now I'm
Because then
just
you're gonna be
standing
sweating.
outside with your stuff in the sun, so.
Yeah, I would be like, we got to figure something else out. I want to deliver to you guys. I want to keep this business, relationship going, but I got to be able to find a way to drop this off for you at this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, this week was the first week, and so I'll talk to him again next week, and I'm gonna make it happen.
Okay.
Someone's gonna have
I like
to,
it. Make it happen.
or it's gonna end up with I come when I have time during the week, whether if it's Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, which I don't want to do, but I don't know. I probably won't do that anyways.
No, not
Probably
for,
just get around.
again, $150 order. I'll make some accommodations. 17.
Yeah, I know. It's a cool spot though.
Yeah. And it's
Cool.
something that probably could grow, but it's got to make sense for you and your business, too.
Yeah, and they have another location too in Milwaukee. So I think if they like what they get in the service and stuff, then they'll probably pick me up for over
Yeah.
there too.
Yeah, and
Um,
and then you got to weigh that stuff, right? We got to be. Is it annoying enough? Not too mad to where you can deal with it, so you can get more business and hopefully grow the business as well. So
yeah, and I mean at some point I'm probably gonna end up where that's gonna be about the time I show up anyhow, as I continue to add more and more places.
yeah,
Like I'm usually done around one delivering, so I mean
and you got time to add more.
10, 12 more spots, and now I'm showing up at four anyways.
Exactly. There you go.
So
I like that plan.
yeah. So,
Um, just before we go, before I ask you if you got any more questions or anything else you want to go over, I just want to, instead of having individual classrooms, I have moved it all. Everybody's into one classroom area. So I just wanted to show
okay.
you where that's at instead of individuals. So everything now is in the successful roadmap journey.
Okay.
And then you would just find your name, which right here. And
Okay.
this is linked to your email. So only me and you can click on this link.
Okay.
So that, and then everything's going to be kind of in there. I'll put the next one in there where only you could click on it as well. So,
I
it's
see.
just a lot cleaner.
Yeah. Yeah, it
Because
is.
if you see all the names on here, it was getting a little crazy.
Yeah.
Filling all that into everybody's own classroom and stuff, and me going and finding it. So,
Right.
this is just a lot easier. You just can go find your name in this classroom, and you're good to go.
Yeah, I saw. Are you guys doing like another thing right now, like a kind of like a group thing?
A group thing.
Uh, I
We're
thought I
doing the
saw. Maybe
calls every
that's
Thursday.
yeah. Maybe that's what I'm. Maybe that's what we're doing now. I saw like a post in the community maybe a week ago, and it
Oh, you
looked
talking
like
about the
we had
proof party?
well, you had like a sign up, like a
Yeah,
sign up thing for it.
yeah. There was the proof party. That's next Thursday. Next Thursday, the 30th.
Okay.
And that's William, who's YouTube wizard master doing VSLs and doing stuff like this. And he gets up to 8 people in there, so it's like the first people that join.
Mm.
Get in there, and then he just asks you questions in natural, and it kind of makes testimonials and what you're getting out of this, and so maybe somebody else, it could help somebody else find me as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, so it's like you use it for marketing.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
That makes sense. All right.
yeah. So if you want to be a part of that, I would be pleasure to have you on there. I will not be there. I actually have an event to be at anyway, so it works out perfectly that that's going on, and then you guys can just hang out and chit chat and talk about me if you want.
Cool. It's called the
Any
proof. What is it? The proof.
proof party. So if you just go to the calendar, yeah, so just in the calendar, it'd be down here, the last one on the 30th, and then the link's right there. It will be filmed in Riverside. Is what he uses. It's like a Zoom, but same concept.
Okay. I didn't even know there was a calendar thing on here.
Yeah,
That's cool.
every week, and we'll be doing a weekly Q&A here at 6 o'clock.
What's the Microgreen Collective?
Oh, that is marketing. So we go over specific marketing every once a month.
Okay.
We do that. Actually, we're supposed to do. We didn't do it last week, so I don't know if she's ready to do it this week or not. So we might not do a marketing one this month. But typically, once a month, we do a class specifically about marketing.
Are those the videos that Jess was doing, showing like the Square
Yep,
website building and stuff?
that's all in here in the marketing.
Okay.
So that's all that stuff. We got all of these currently in there. Just keep building on that.
Yeah, I like that you guys started. I don't know if you do it manually or if it's like an AI thing, but there's like now like kind of like notes from the show.
Yep, that's this guy that you see down there, that note taker.
Okay.
That does all my notes for me, and then it makes little clips of every section and all that stuff. So
Okay. Yeah, that's cool because there's a lot of videos and it's
yeah,
kind of nice to know like what are the topics
exactly.
in the video.
And that's why I got it, because it's a lot easier for the AI to put it together and quicker. Because
Yeah.
it's like immediately when this is done, it has
Right.
it. So
That's cool.
yeah, and it makes it much better for everybody else.
Yeah, right.
All right. I got another call starting with somebody else in 1 minute or less.
Cool.
So great talking to you, Nick. Again, if you need anything, reach out in the community. In the meantime,
All
this will
right.
all get together and put in there for you in your special area, and then we'll meet again in a couple months.
Cool. Thanks,
All right.
Mike.
Have a good one.
Yeah, you too.
Bye.
Bye.